time that you watched School of Rock. If I could make a recommendation of one movie that will send you down a nostalgia kick and give you some chills on the final song, it's absolutely it. Second of all, there's people that don't like Inter Miami, but I must say I've been complimented multiple times from wearing the shirt. Hell yeah. Welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is Schiller. Today we are going over some kind of cool collectibles that I came across on the timeline. One of them being Sully from Monsters Inc. All of these are just, I don't know. I feel like almost in like a good mood when you look at something that brings back some sort of like memory for you in a sense. And I feel like that is absolutely one of them. And for a little bit more of a negative light for some, at least in the Toronto Blue Jay perspective here for the Los Angeles Dodgers, if you haven't seen a Shohei Ohtani 1 of 1 went for $3 million. Now, this was at the same time that the NBA has announced and got a whole bunch of breakers and accounts to highlight their NBA gold logo men over in the world of MLB. Well, they had an auction at exactly that same time. And Harry Swan, what's going on? Are you out here watching the Jake Paul fight? What's the situation with that? I've been seeing a ton of people talk about that. So curious what's going on that front. And let's continue the record sale talk. A 1 of 1 Cooper Flag, Dallas Maverick, $180,000. We're here thinking, man, let's just get through 2025, and people are dropping $180,000 on the good old Cooper Flag. Oh my friggin' goodness. But I mean, I guess it sort of sets the tone for the market, and now people are going to get even more excited when they pull a flag, even if it's not a 1 of 1, knowing that the demand is there. And obviously he's playing absolutely out of his mind. And take a look at this. Someone found their receipt from Walmart. If you look on the bottom, do you see that date? 11/24/98. How in the halibut do we have something so vintage, so precious, so admirable, like Sully when we saw earlier? This is so cool. The fact of it being $50.66 back in 98, was that like a good deal? I'm trying to think, because nowadays you pay what? That same price for video games? More? Depending on where you are, currency exchanges, etc. But nuts. So the video that I posted yesterday, or the stream that we went over when we talked about Pokemon Red, I got chewed out in one of the comments. One of the things when you have a video that goes absolutely berserk, the video that I was talking about a crazy sale that happened for, I think it was like $93,750 for an original Pokemon Red sealed 9.9 graded copy. And within that, there's something specific about there's a difference between the Sandshrew edition, which is one of the earliest ones, and a Rattata edition. So we looked it up, and you can see where there's a Sandshrew on this specific listing, right? On the back of the case. It's not the front, obviously. You got the Charizard on it. But then this is the variant where you have Rattata. And I was like, okay, cool. So while I got chewed out, it was a little bit of a history lesson amongst that, and kind of cool that there are some kind of minor details that are associated within some of these collectibles. Then I also made a post of just having a thought, right? Because we got to be some sort of like a thought leader, if you will, regarding things. And one of the videos that I did that performed probably the best was talking about World of Warcraft, thinking it's kind of weird that they're having tweets with the Edmonton Oilers. McDonald's is tweeting at them, and I don't really see any kind of things happening around World of Warcraft. Now, that's from a place of ignorance, probably 100%, but it's like, okay, the demand for World of Warcraft content is still very much out there, and with this boom in trading cards, I'm like, well, does World of Warcraft have a trading card game? And the answer is yes, they do. But this was something that went on from 2006 to about 2013, and then it stopped. And so I was like, okay, let's go and try to look at what some of these boxes look like. Well, one person's selling them for $1,400. So I guess the take kind of works. The cellophane wrapping on that like does not look good at all, though. Holy smokes. Not to say that's a counterfeit or anything, but what an absolute botch job. That doesn't look very good. Here's another one, the World Breaker. Can we get these in like bigger views? No. If we go like this. That one's, I think, a little bit better. It gives you almost like a Warhammer feel. Did you guys ever play Warhammer back in the day when you had the figurines and you glued them together and then spray painted them and then painted them? I remember those. I missed those stores. They were amazing. This one looks like they just took the image off of Google, but it's like the worst quality image ever. $340 for that one. The Scourge War? Yeah. Scourge War. That box looks like pretty pristine, and the cellophane job, not too bad. It looks like they even have like an entire photo booth to highlight it in a nice lighting. The Dark Portal. Like, think of these things. And again, I've been going on these tangents about how collectibles and stuff are really just about the aesthetics and like the feel-good nature of having something and talk about it in the story. And actually, on one of the podcasts coming up for the RWA Segments podcast, which the link's going to be down in the description below if you're watching on YouTube after the stream, but I was talking with Svi Wiesel and just having a discussion of, it's kind of weird that we're seeing a huge influx or change in the collectibles world, and I wonder, moving forward, are people going to care more about the art side of things of, oh, that looks really, really cool, the nostalgia kick, or are they going to prefer ones that have some kind of lore or story and they can, you know, tell their friends, their family, whatever, and it have some kind of extra meaning, if you will. And this one, March of the Legion, the March of the Legion. This is image, probably just take it off Google, $250. Again, I'm not necessarily going out and buying all these things, but just with the trading card boom, I just want to throw that one out there. And look at this card if you are a Yankee fan. Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, and Aaron Judge. I want you to judge these signatures. We've done this before. We've gone over and looked at athlete signatures for Derek Jeter. I don't know if I would say that that is Derek Jeter. For Mariano Rivera, I feel like the first half of that is phenomenal, and then I get lost in the sauce on the second one. And then for Aaron Judge, I feel like I can kind of make out the Aaron, and then it looks like it's a J-U-G. Not not really any kind of spelling. Imagine if you were a teacher having to teach these cursive writings, and that's what you get sent back. That's what they should do for athletes. Imagine the change in the world. And look at this crazy error card for Shohei Ohtani. We've seen a couple of them graze the timeline. And every time you see one, you just have to stop and appreciate how friggin' funky the thing looks. And then if you're an F1 fan, they are now having debut patches for F1 drivers. Now, those signatures, no, that's going to be a no for me, dog. Like, those are no comprende. You know, Cyberpunk is creating a trading card game, and you can actually get a card shipped for free. Everybody's getting into the business. Let me read this for you. In Cyberpunk trading card game, you'll put together the ultimate edge runner crew with characters from across the franchise, pitting them against your opponent as you fight to become a Night City legend. Featuring stunning custom artwork, Cyberpunk TCG is designed for trading card players, avid collectors, and fans of the Cyberpunk franchises alike. And then in the bottom, where my shoulder's sort of in the way, it says, the Nova Rare Lucy card will be free for those who sign up to the email updates by January 20th of 2026. And this is on like launchoracle.com. Or if you just type in Cyberpunk TCG, you'll probably be able to find it. There is a limit of 2 per household, which makes me think this is going to be a physical game, because the video that they have of it kind of gives you the impression that it might be digital, but it feels like it might be both. The card will be shipped once all Kickstarter rewards have been fulfilled. Users will receive an email closer to the time asking for delivery details. Both the card and shipping costs are covered by Weird Co. So if you're wanting to pick up on a freebie right there, there is your alpha of the day. And if you're an NFL fan, can I show you a helmet that the Miami Dolphins posted about that they went to their archives? And from 1966, look at this thing. You talk to NFL players now or see them in interviews and they say, yeah, we don't really feel anything with the helmets. And they're like really good tech. That thing looks like it would hurt like all hell. And like there is no padding, there is nothing, there's no sort of like, I do kind of agree on the aspect of people with the notion that if you just didn't wear the helmets, it would probably be safer, because that thing looks like an actual weapon that you could use in medieval times. You ever been to medieval times dinner in theater? And they come out with the jousting six swords and the flail. Instead of having like the ball on the end of the flail, just put one of the NFL helmets on. It's the exact same thing. You're good to go. And John Cena, coming out with a commemorative collection already. These companies are so fast with creating cards, unreal. So if you're wanting to get some John Cena memorabilia, well, there you go. That's coming up fairly soon. And this was a post from a couple months ago, so excuse me that it's not necessarily recent, but somebody went out and got an entire collection of Charizard cards from all the different PSA rankings except for a 10. So this is a collection of PSA 1 to 9 Charizard cards. The dedication from collectors is unmatched. And I have to give myself a red card. I have to give myself a red card here. I didn't know this was a thing. So I'm scrolling along looking for different news and things regarding collectibles. A Netflix series, King of Collectibles, The Golden Touch. 'Tis the season 3 for collectibles. So, like, is there an entire series on Netflix about collectibles? Is this something that's different? That's season 3? Is this not available where I am? Because I feel like I've scrolled through Netflix before and I have not seen anything on collectibles. But if we're getting an entire Netflix series, and especially on the the Cheeto Charizard that sold for a ton of money, that's nuts. So that'll be out on December 23rd. Depending on where you are, let me know how it is, and I will try to watch it on my end. The League of Legends world is getting some interesting news as number one, Fnatic, the team from Europe, is apparently looking at selling his team. Now, that's not the news we want to talk about. We want to talk about the LCK, the Korean esport side of things. This was something that came back in 2023 called LCK Legendaries. And the idea with it is they were going to do digital trading cards of the players, and very similar to the NFL All Day, NBA Top Shot, name your digital collectibles platform. It's basically the exact same thing. However, they sold packs and did stuff for it, but then there was just no word about it since then. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but I thought, hey, you know what? A lot of people I don't think know that this even exists. And if we were going to click on the site right now, ended service on September 25th of 2025. You can email help@lck.legendaries.com for more information. The more you know. And are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, aye, Captain. Oh, SpongeBob movie. I've seen just unreal amounts of advertisements for this thing. Unreal, unreal, unreal. Apparently, for the movie theaters, if you want to get a popcorn bucket of SpongeBob rowing a boat, you're able to do so. You got Patrick, Mr. Krabs, and SpongeBob figurines. All of that is happening, and I think that's kind of cool. Also, we've seen Avatar. I used to collect these bottles in like NBA fashion or like sporting events. So if you ever went to like an arena, everywhere always had like the sports branded collector's cup. Those were my absolute favorite. They're doing that again for Avatar. I think they do that for every movie, but just highlighting it because it's recent. And the Pokémon movie. Somebody got their ticket from the movie release back in 2000. And that might be the damn coolest collectible that I've seen out here. That might be the alpha of the alpha. But that's it for this edition of XFeed. Again, we go live every single day looking at some cool collectibles, giving some insights here and there. And then we are also clipping all of these streams. So if you don't have time to sit through a 15, 17, even 10-minute stream, depending, feel free to check out the various pages for that. We're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. If you want to see more of the other streams, again, if you fly over to that live tab, and again, some conversations regarding the RWA Segments podcast are smoking. The past week, we did a series or episode with CJ Breen from Leaf Trading Cards, where they got pickleball. They were talking about how celebrities love doing autograph sessions and want to hook up their friends for it, and it's super insightful and really, really cool. Again, the description for that, if you're watching on YouTube, will be in the description down below, or if you happen to follow me on X, the link's in the bio, or if you just type in RWA Segments on a podcasting platform, you are good to go. Harry Swan, thank you for coming through. As always, you're wonderful, beautiful, and great. True. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week. Peace.